Hello again, everyone. Or perhaps for the first time if you haven't watched my Mega Man videos. My name is Kupo, the K in JAGKast, and this is going to be the first episode of my first RPG playthrough. And I figured that it would be a good idea to start with something that I know and love. So I'm going to be playing Wild Arms on the PS1, one of my all-time favorite RPGs and the beginning of one of my all-time favorite series of games, really. So let's hop to it. And I'm actually going to be quiet for a minute because this game has one of the best opening songs of any, in my opinion. So I'm just going to let you guys soak that in, and then I'll start talking again once we get to the title screen. Enjoy. Alright, I am back. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Just the intro to this game is one of those ones that I watch all the way through every time I load it up. I never get tired of it. So I'm not gonna play that every time one of these episodes goes up. I mean, you guys can look it up on YouTube if you really want to listen to it again. But I thought, at least for the first one, you guys deserve that experience. So I'm definitely going to be going for longer playtimes on these RPG episodes than on Mega Man, which, I mean, Mega Man is like 5 to 10 minutes most of the time. You'll make no progress in an RPG that way. I'm aiming for somewhere between half an hour and an hour in most cases. We'll just see. It really just depends on how much good progress I'm able to make in a given amount of time. So for Wild Arms, you start out picking between three characters to actually like go through a little scenario with before the three of them meet up as the main crew of the game. So they vary a little bit in length, but depending on how long it goes, let's see, I'm checking my clock right now. All right. Depending on how long it goes, I'd say we'll almost certainly get at least two of these done. Maybe all three, but that's probably a stretch. But let's jump right into it with the first character, a wandering youth. And I am going to be reading things, and I'll attempt some terrible voice acting from time to time. Life is gradually fading from the land. Slowly but surely, the destruction of Filgaia continues. A devastated environment filled with ferocious monsters plague the people of Filgaia, who desperately try to cling to their land. Those who dare to venture out are called dream chasers. There's a boy in the village of Surf. It's hard to believe that this boy has the potential to become a dream chaser. What does he seek? We're calling it a day, kid. Thanks a lot. The barrels are all sorted. Yeah, you know, all three of them. I hired you at the recommendation of Mayor Pfeiffer. You turned out to be okay. By the way, what's your name? Just gonna go with the default names for all the characters here. So, our blue-haired youth is going to be named Rudy. Rudy, you're stronger than you look. The horses seem happy. Here's today's pay. Sorry, kid, this is all the village can afford. Oh, got a healing item. Pretty great. You should see if the mayor has any more work for you. Thanks again. See ya. So now we have control of Rudy. So we can go around and harass various animals. Funny thing is, later in the game, well, actually very soon, we're going to be getting our first tool, which tools are puzzle-solving items in Wild Arms. Very big element of the games. And the tool that we get is bombs, and certain animals within the game actually can be blown up, and you can get items out of them. So that's a fun one. It takes way too long. It's usually just like the chickens that you can blow up. It takes a really long time, and you don't know which ones they are until you get the treasure finder, so we won't do that until later. But I promise I'll blow up at least one chicken for you guys. Tony. Busy, busy, busy. I'm so busy today. You want to know why? Pfft, who cares? Yes. I can't tell you. Maybe when I get back. Okay, so Tony's heading out somewhere. And much like, you know, various Final Fantasy games and such, you can search random objects and get loot for it. So, got some cash there. You saw me throwing crates earlier, and we got a heal berry and a hardy apple, which is a permanent stat increase when used. We're going to save that for quite some time. So, I mean, already, there's quite a bit to do in this game. Like, they give you a lot of little touches, which is something I've always appreciated. Long ago, in the cave to the south, there were powerful berries called holy berries. But the last seed was used to kill a monster, so there are no more. You want to hear more? Yeah, might as well. Long ago, a monster prevented the villagers from collecting berries in the cave. The villagers hired many bounty hunters, but the monster kept coming back to life over and over again. As everyone began to give up, one of the bounty hunters had a brilliant idea. His idea was to plant a holy berry seed inside the monster while it was regenerated. The holy berry sprouted and sealed the monster with its magic. Nobody believes the story anymore. It's considered a fairy tale. Well, thanks for the info. That's something that's neat too. You can step in the water and leave watery footprints that gradually fade over time. Just, so many little touches in this game. Sorry, you guys. I'm going to wax nostalgic all throughout this playthrough, because like I said at the top, this is one of my favorite games, and it's been a very long time since I've properly played it. Okay. Apparently this is just that chicken's house. Let's see. I think this guy is older or kid? I'm going to say he's older. Ah, Rudy. This village must be boring for someone like you. Nah. You don't have to be nice. I'm bored too. To the south, there's a city holding a festival. I want to go. Festivals are always nice. I mean, hell, plenty of good games have started with festivals. Look at Chrono Trigger. The whole, beginning segment is a festival. That game's a friggin' masterpiece. You know Calamity Jane? She's a bounty hunter. Stories of her battles with monsters are famous. She's probably very beautiful. So, I mean, already we're getting lots of info just out of talking to random civilians. Hey, kid, are you a dream chaser? Man, if I wasn't married, I'd love to live a life filled with adventure. Well, just bring your, I'm gonna assume, wife with you. I mean, you know, why the hell not? Although I guess that probably isn't an option given that he isn't doing so. I just want to check this barrel, dang it. There we go, okay. Well, there's nothing in it anyway. Aha! We've made $37 and gotten like 8 heal berries in total. I'm pretty satisfied with that. Welcome to Surf Village. Visitors are always welcome here. Welcome, what can I do for you? Okay, so this guy's just a merchant. Alright, so we've already got the long knife. Probably a good idea to buy a couple of each of these status items. I think poison is probably the only thing we're really going to have to worry about during Rudy's portion of, I mean, basically the tutorial. But it doesn't hurt to have a few things just in case. Let's see, I talked to this guy. Not too many know this, but every year the water in the well decreases. I hear the world is coming to an end. It must be an omen! Sorry, he put it in all caps, had to shout it. Oh, and this mysterious, colorful bird is able to talk and also save your game for you. So, I don't know, for some reason parrots are save points, essentially. Come again? Yep, I totally will, bird. Maybe I should have done a more generic, like, Polly, want a cracker sort of voice for it, but I don't think that would go too well. Power apple, awesome. Let's see, this isn't there, says it. My husband tells me you've been working hard. You must be very tired. There are beds upstairs. Do you want to take a rest? Well, we haven't gotten hurt or anything yet, so I'm gonna say no. Rudy, how are you? Thanks to you, the stables are in great shape. Take these as a token of my appreciation. Long ago, I found these bombs while exploring ancient ruins. You may find them handy. Alright, we got the bombs. These bombs will destroy most small objects. Walk next to the object you want to blow up and push the tools button. It will go off in a bit. These magical bombs will never run out. In the good old days, magic berries could be found in the cave to the south. This totally is an appropriate segue. We would use the bombs to clear debris from the cave. Alright, there we go, there's the tie-in. Now that all of the berries are gone, we no longer need them. The world is fading, and our village is starting to feel the impact. Well, excuse me. Oh, he even said it. Excuse me, I must talk to the mayor immediately. The child from our village has gone. Oh, no, that's not Mayor Piper talking. That's Gator. Mayor Piper, a child from our village has gone into the berry cave. What? What do we do? Gotta pace. The berry cave is full of monsters. There's not much we can do. I must talk to the townsfolk about this situation. Please keep this quiet. We can't have people panicking. Excuse me. Hopefully that didn't come over the capture. So, remember the kid pacing around who said he had something to do and wasn't gonna tell us? Wonder if he's the one off spelunking in the berry cave and causing a panic. Your parents must be worried about you being a dream chaser. Oh, you don't? I'm sorry to hear that. Pardon me. So, right there, get a bit of an implication that Rudy is an orphan of some kind or another. And here's sprinting, fantastically useful for getting around, as one might imagine. I haven't talked to you folks. Tony, where could he be? I hope he's not causing trouble in the village. So I believe Tony's the kid who is probably in the berry cave right now. My son Tony, he may seem wild, but he's really a good kid. His smiling face has helped me through my illness. So this guy's sick, mom's worried, kid's in the berry cave, and there's only one thing we can do. Run! Haha! Can't cure your illness if you're dead, old man! I'm not sure, we might need to talk to the mayor first to volunteer to help the kid, but I mean, it's pretty obvious we're gonna be helping the kid. Okay, yeah, so I think we just head out and save the kid. Speaking of save, just to be totally sure. There we go. Alright, and off to the cave. There we go. And welcome to the overworld. Alright, well, there's a cave, it's to the south, it's the berry cave. Who'd have thought, right? Well, this is certainly menacing, with the music and the atmosphere and everything. Wow, I was away for a second and this kid gets past me. No one from the village is allowed in here. What am I to do? Eat bombs! No trespassing, bats bring danger, leave now. Well, I have bombs. Clearly bats cannot stand up to me. So, yeah, so far just a leisurely stroll through the... Oh my goodness, it's a battle system. And it's in 3D, holy crap. So... Yeah, back in the day, this was, like, magical. It's like, holy crap, you've got a 3D, like, this is just, I mean, the mind boggled, you know. This is something that came out while people were waiting for, you know, the big PlayStation Final Fantasy games, and it was just like, this is one of those examples of, oh my goodness, the PlayStation is such a powerful piece of hardware. No game should ever look this good. Who could believe it? And so yeah, I mean, it looks a little silly and goofy nowadays, but back in the day, this was amazing. I mean, look at those triangles when you get a critical hit. Like, triangles are power. But so far, it's I've just been physically attacking, but there's quite a lot to the battle system. So you can totally re-equip all 3 party members at any point during battle. You can run, you can change their order, you can make them auto-fight, and then here in the actual combat wheel, we've got physical attacking. This is like special abilities, so Rudy's got a gun, which we're not going to be using yet. These are force powers, so that blue gauge that says force, as it builds up, you will be able to do more and more things, so each of these is going to take an increasing amount of force, and we'll unlock them as the game goes on. And then, like, when your force gauge gets totally filled up, excuse me, when it gets totally filled up, you actually are cured of any status effects, which can be really helpful in the middle of a fight. This is items, pretty explanatory, and defense, which is also pretty apparent. So, you build force up by mainly attacking and getting attacked, but there are other things. Eventually we'll get some items like carrots. There are mini carrots and full carrots, which can increase the amount of force that a character has, and managing it is an important part of the game, of the combat specifically, I suppose I should say. Blow up that one. But, yeah, so far it's a pretty normal first dungeon. You've got just basically a cave full of monsters. It doesn't get more bog standard than that, let's be honest. And then one thing I do really love about these games is the enemy design. Like, some things tend to be pretty standard, but others are fairly out there. I mean, look at these things. They're called balloons. They're basically like spheres with faces all around them. And then you've got this weird, like, tendrily nonsense going around. Like, it's really... It's pretty upsetting, let's be honest. So, there's some cool designs and art direction in this game that I like a lot. Woo, $50. Sorry about this, give me just a second. Alrighty. And we'll keep going. So, in this game, it's basically just a straight random encounter system. Later games in the series introduce the encounter gauge and essentially ways to skip encounters. Like, you get a little notification beforehand, and you can just tap a button and not have to deal with that fight. And in some of them, you have like a certain amount of a resource that you expend to avoid fights. In some, it's just a, it's just an option, but it's a nice touch. Do not destroy this sign. Danger ahead. Leave now. Alright, well, thank you guys for joining me on Wild Arms. Apparently, we can't progress through the game any further, so I appreciate you watching, and next week... Nah, I'm just kidding. Okay, that's my bad. I walked too far away for the sake of the joke. Tatzelbelm. Such a goofy name. And there are a few enemies in this game that their names aren't quite what was the original intent, and I'll actually probably be pointing quite a few of those out. Because, I mean, this is one of those games and /or series that I have just devoted way too much into knowing absolutely everything about. So, I should be pretty on top of all of the lore, the goings-on, the side quests, etc. So, heal berries restore 200 HP, which is kind of overkill, but unfortunately we don't have a choice, because they're the lowest denomination of healing we have. So, blow up the sign, and let's keep going. Gonna switch here. Yeah, of course we're gonna pull the lever. Oh, we have to blow up the box first. This is a JRPG, so expect plenty of random encounters. If I need to do any grinding or anything like that, at any point in the playthrough, I will do it off camera, most likely, unless there's like some big outcry to keep it all on screen, because I mean, you're gonna be getting plenty of combat already just from watching the episodes themselves. I doubt you guys are gonna want more of it. Let's see, there's a sign saying, be quiet, footsteps may wake bats, take it slow and easy. I don't remember. Oh, I think the trick is just not to sprint. So, at the beginning of the cave, there was a sign that said, oh, bats are bad. And essentially what they were trying to convey is that bats are actually a status effect called Curse that will cause you to have more encounters, which isn't really something we want at this point. I mean, the experience would be nice, but as long as we level up once before the boss, I think that should do it pretty well. I love how the goblins, I mean, I don't know what it sounds like to you guys, it sounds to me like they meow when I hit them, which is pretty funny. Alright, so we got a level there. It says footsteps, like running will wake them up. I'm assuming we're gonna have to blow some things up. I wonder if that's gonna wake the bats. Yeah, so give you a little tutorial there about the holy symbol. So if we do get batted, then we should be okay as long as we use the holy symbol. Or we can just eat the extra encounters to level up a bit. Alright, so we can one-shot balloons now. That's gonna make all these encounters way quicker. Can't one-shot the goblins, though. I didn't expect to. Let's see. That looks awful progressy. Aha. Glad I went over there. So there are going to be quite a few random encounters. And that's part of why, like I said, I want to do, somewhat longer episodes, probably at least half an hour to an hour, probably going to be more in the range of like 45 minutes to an hour, I would say. Just because with the encounters and such, it's going to take a bit of work. Oh, we can one-shot a goblin if we get lucky, it seems. We're not going to get story as quickly as you would with a lot of other genres. So I want to make sure there's at least a decent bit that's interesting that's happening for you guys every episode. Woo, Healberry. Wow, we're getting a lot of Healberries. Pretty happy with that. Yeah, the boss coming up at the end of this isn't too bad. And I started with Rudy's tutorial because it really is the most straightforward. They line it out for you pretty nicely, where Rudy's got a straightforward and pretty easy tutorial. Jack has a tutorial that's got a bit more puzzle solving and is a bit more combat heavy. And then Cecilia has a much longer tutorial section that has a lot of puzzle solving. This one, I'm going to say Rudy's is likely to be an entire episode on its own, between all the stuff at the beginning and spending time in town. But Jack's is all in a dungeon. It's plenty of puzzles and combat and such, but it's pretty straightforward. We'll see how long that ends up being. That may, out of necessity, be its own episode. Cecilia's is going to be 100% its own episode, because that is the longest of the tutorials, for certain. Okay, so I think we need to move this one out, and this one out. And HP, I think we can do one more fight. There should be a save point down here. But yeah, so I said earlier that this is one of my favorite games and series, and I absolutely meant it. And I very much intend to play through most of the games on this channel eventually. I'm going to be splitting them up because I know just throwing a ton in one series of like RPGs like this that are really long could get tiring. So I'm going to do my best to split them up with other things, but the first one is great. This is a save point in a dungeon. The first one is great, the second one is great, the third one is great. The fourth I'll probably skip, to be honest, because it's terrible. It does introduce a whole new battle system, though, that's really good. And then the fifth is pretty good. I'd say it's not as good as the first three, but it uses the fourth's battle system, which is awesome. So we're definitely going to play that. And then, so 3, 4, and 5 were all PS2 games. 1 and 2 were PS1. And there's a remake of this one for PS2 that updates things a lot that I've never actually played. So I very much want to get around to that someday, because that'll actually be kind of a new and old experience for me, and hopefully you guys will enjoy that. Anyway, we found the kid. I've come to look for berries for my father. The berries are on the other side of this blocked passage. Well, I guess your father's gonna die, kid. Oh wait, no, I have magical infinite bombs that I was conveniently given by the mayor. Check it out, you've cleared the path. I have to get back, my father's waiting for these berries back home. Well, I guess we're gonna go in and get the berries for you, kid. After opening this hidden chest. Bandana. Got some headgear for Rudy. Oh yeah, one more defense point. Big, scary monolith glowing with an eye on it and glowing berries? Nah, nothing could be wrong here. Obviously, we should just pick the berries and leave. Oh, sorry. I accidentally scrolled the text a bit, but he's excited. He says, I gotta get these berries to my father. Let's hurry. I've gotta get them to him right away. So we get, thankfully, warped to the front of the dungeon. Wait, what? Something terrible's happening? I never would have guessed it. Well, luckily those berries weren't like sealing away any monsters or anything like that. That'd be just tragic if that was like the only thing sealing in a powerful regenerative beast. Glad we're not gonna have to deal with anything like that. I'm sure the earthquake was a coincidence. Hey, it's the entire village. Mom! Why do you always cause so much trouble? I came to get these berries to heal Father's wounds. Also, if I'm not consistent with voices, I apologize. I'm not a great voice person, and I also am not going to remember what I did for most of these people, especially since they're all just slight variations on each other. So, apologies in advance for that. Are you two okay? What was that earthquake all about? I've always told you not to come here. You're safe, that's all that matters. Let's go home. Yep, everyone's totally safe. Don't worry, the dog's barking at nothing. I swear. That doesn't look so threatening. I mean, what? It's a monster that tons of mercenaries couldn't kill, constantly regenerates, and had to be magically sealed away. We're a level 2 orphan with blue hair. We got this. Don't doubt the power of lacking parents. I have to say, though, this is pretty much the coolest design for a zombie I've ever seen. So, lock-on makes it so that our arms won't miss. So, this is Rudy's big killer attack for now, but it has an 85% chance to hit, which missing in a boss fight like this is kind of a pain. So, we're going to build up force a bit and then just start laying into him with shots. Alright, so we got force level 2, so let's lock on, hand cannon. Got some cool crosshair stuff, and then BAM! Now the pistol he pulls out at the end of every fight gets some use. Awesome counterattack. So basically, we're just gonna shoot this guy down. So over the course of the game, we're gonna find all sorts of other arms for Rudy. There's lasers and bazookas and a whole slew of just awesome weaponry. So ARMS, which is an abbreviation that changes from game to game. I believe in this one it's Ancient Relic Machines, which is quite redundant, I know. Our Rudy's thing, we're going to get a bunch for him. They're all upgradable, so we can go to someone and increase how many shots he gets, how much damage they do, their hit rate, etc., which is pretty great. Jack is a powerful swordsman, so he gets sword arts that he can learn throughout the game. Did I really just die? Oh, I thought I'd be faster than him. Wow. Played it a little bit too risky, I guess. Well, I'm glad for that save point. Well, this is definitely going to be its own episode now. But Jack is a master of the fast draw. He's an incredibly powerful swordsman who gets all sorts of really cool techniques throughout the game. and then Cecilia's a mage, and the magic system in this game is really cool. Basically, there are several elements. I think there's wind, fire, water, and earth, but they're like wing, fray, geo, and muse for wind, fire, earth, and water, respectively. And you get to pick on a grid combinations of the two. And each one is a unique spell, and you can teach those spells to Cecilia by using crest graphs, which you find throughout the game. So the longer the game goes on, the more of them you find, and then you can teach her more spells. And eventually there's a side quest we can do that gets her access to high magic, which is much more powerful, and so you basically get super versions of all of those spells that you could have beforehand. It's really, really fun mechanic. At least I think so. So, yeah. Causing trouble, getting berries, everything's fine, there was an earthquake. People are safe, there's no zombie coming. Oh wait, there's a zombie coming. Well, time to shoot it a lot. And heal sooner. I am so sorry about that. But, admittedly, I'm also a little bit glad for it, because it gives me some more time to talk. Also, I didn't point this out last time, but I definitely like to now. Man, this game has just such good boss music. I mean, really, all of the music is good. The composer is Michio Naruke. I'm not sure if that's exactly how it's pronounced, but he's just fantastic. I regularly listen to songs from this and other games in the series just on my own time. Just, I love them. Especially, as I said earlier, that intro song, just so good. Okay, so I think we can take one more of those, right? Alright, I'm gonna play it overly safe. After what happened last time. So I think sometimes Rotten Breath can do like 26 damage, and taking 2 of those would be probably fatal. Yep. See? Glad I healed, because then he would have hit me twice and he could have done enough damage to kill. See? I learned. And this is quite a long game. There's a lot to do in the story. There are a bunch of side quests. Like I said, getting the high magic is a side quest. There's a whole monster arena that has a secret boss at the end of it once you progress far enough into the story. Let's see. There's another secret boss behind the arena after you get some items, and he's a jerk. There's the Abyss, which is every bit as fun as it sounds. Like, there's several gear hunts, a bunch of other optional bosses. Like, there is a lot to this game. This is going to be a very long and hopefully very fun playthrough. I mean, I know it'll be fun for me. I hope it'll be fun for you guys, because I think the story is great, the mechanics are a lot of fun, and it's just an awesome game. I think even if he does Rotten Breath twice, he can't kill. So we'll give him a shot. And I'm feeling really lucky right now because I know for a fact that Rotten Breath can poison. Because I've had it happen before. Hey, we got it. But I've had it happen before. So the fact that he didn't poison us at any point is great. Rudy casts the Holy Berry at the regenerating zombie. The healing light from the Holy Berry reduces the zombie to sludge. Woo! Luckily, we didn't give all of them to Tony. Wow, you defeated the zombie! What happened, Mom? You have brought tragedy to the entire village of Surf. I know about you. You possess the arm, the forbidden power. So yeah, something I didn't mention earlier. That gun we were shooting the whole time, it's forbidden ancient technology. So these people are very much not okay with seeing us use it, even though we just saved all of them. I know I shouldn't have, but I looked through your stuff the other day. The arm has brought doom to us all. The dream chaser Rudy has cursed us all. That earthquake was probably caused by Rudy. Be quiet, everyone. Rudy, thanks for saving the boy. But you opened the forbidden path and put us all in danger. You also possess an arm. Why, I've got two right here, but I'm not making a fuss about that now, am I? You will be judged for this according to our village law. Do you agree, Rudy? Absolutely not, but they'll probably be happier if I say yes. We must get back to the village at once. Rudy will be judged there. So, hooray for trying to rescue a kid from a monster-filled dungeon and save everyone. We're getting put on trial. The boy brought terrible danger to our village, etc. He's just a dream chaser. It may sound cruel, but he may bring harm upon us all. When the seal was broken, it caused an earthquake that damaged the entire village. And I'm not scrolling any of those boxes, by the way. They auto-scroll. That's why I wasn't totally caught up with the one. We all agree then. We'll ask him to leave. I took him in, so I'll inform him of our decision. It is nice that they're putting us on trial and then just politely asking us to leave. At least they're not, trying to murder us or anything. Were you eavesdropping, Rudy? Then you know what we've decided. I must ask you to pack your things and leave, and please don't come back. So for the record, we're totally able to come back later. I'll save it here, but I'm pretty sure after we leave the village, it automatically gives us a save, or at least we have to save in order to progress and do the other two stories for Jack and Cecilia. You saved me. I was so helpless. I know you did the right thing and that they're wrong. I just want to say thank you. I've got to get back. Thanks again. At least the kid's grateful. Even though he used his skill to protect them, they rejected him out of fear. Within him is a power he never asked for, the skill to use the forbidden arms. He still wanders the world in search of his soul, unaware of his inborn power. Alright, so Rudy's story is done, which means next up is going to be Jack, and we'll do that on next episode. So thank you guys very much for joining me on this. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope you'll continue to enjoy it. Because like I said, I think this game is great, and if you're an RPG fan, wholeheartedly recommend it. And, if you don't have the means or the time or the interest to play it yourself, then hopefully you can get it just as much entertainment out of watching me do so. Anyway, have a good one, and I'm not sure what the release schedule is going to be for these videos, but I'm going to say at minimum I'm going to do one a week, hopefully a little more frequently than that, just kind of depends on how my schedule goes. So, after this one, should be less than a week for the next one. Thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you next time.